innovation at the intersection of AI and sustainability, Tesla's approach. So this is going to be a discussion of Tesla's efforts to reduce its environmental impact, sure, including its use of renewable energy sources and sustainable materials, sure, but there's more to it at the end. I'm Brian. Welcome to my Tesla Weekend. Can everybody hear me? Hello, William. Hello, Digital Blade. MD Hofstee, John, JJ's in here. Yeah, a lot of... David, yes, good to see you. Good to see you all, one and all. MPAT, John's Touchpad. Hello, everybody. As a reminder, this is the full version that goes out on Friday at 7 p.m. on the second channel, My Tesla Live. Or it's the condensed one. It's whichever one's on the screen. I imagine you guys know how that works. So let's talk about it, huh? By the way, looking good, sounding good, all that good stuff. Yo. Thank you, William. So, this is a discussion. Tesla is a company that's committed to reducing its environmental impact and promoting sustainable transportation. And here are some of the ways that Tesla is working to achieve this goal. It includes using renewable energy sources. So they've made a commitment to using renewables to power its operations, including manufacturing, showroom superchargers, all that. The company's installed solar panels on many of its facilities, including its gigafactories, to generate clean, renewable power. Developing electric vehicles itself. Yeah, Tesla's primary focus is on producing electric vehicles, which do not produce any emissions while being driven. In contrast, traditional gasoline-powered vehicles release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, contributing to climate change. Move this over here. Lost it. There we go. Investing in sustainable energy, investing in sustainable materials. So Tesla's working to reduce its use of materials that are harmful to the environment, such as single-use plastics. The company's also investing in research and development to find sustainable alternatives to traditional materials, like using recycled aluminum in its vehicles. Promoting sustainable transportation. Yeah, Tesla is actively promoting the use of electric vehicles as a more sustainable form of transportation. So the company has also developed its own network of superchargers, you know that, which allow Tesla drivers to quickly and easily recharge. So overall, Tesla's making a number of steps to reduce its environmental impact and promote sustainable transportation. Yeah, these efforts are an important part of the company's overall mission to accelerate to the transition to a cleaner, more sustainable future. So I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, that's all interesting. That's all interesting. It's not super groundbreaking. So what I actually wanted to explain is that while Tesla is an interesting topic, the real news is about sustainability in terms of human resource, the human labor pool. AI is able to do our jobs. Hey, Daniel. Hi. AI is able to do our jobs. So AI, artificial intelligence, is a rapidly evolving field that is having a major impact on many different industries and sectors. One of the most significant ways that AI is transforming the world is by taking on tasks that were previously done by humans. So while Tesla is certainly an interesting and important topic, it is important to recognize that AI is capable of doing a wide range of tasks that were previously done by me. For example, AI can analyze data, make decisions, and perform tasks, including customer service, data entry, and even driving. So the use of AI in the workforce has the potential to bring about significant changes, positive and negative. On the one hand, AI can increase efficiency, reduce costs, and free up human workers to focus on more complex and creative tasks. On the other hand, the use of AI in the workplace raises concern about job displacement and the need to adapt to new technologies. So overall, it is important to recognize that while Tesla is an interesting and important topic, the real news is that AI is increasingly able to do a lot of our jobs for us, and this has significant implications for the future of work. So why is this relevant? Because I got something to tell you, folks. I didn't write this episode. I didn't write the title. I didn't write the topic. I didn't write any of it. I typed, what is a good topic for Tesla video? Let me make this a little bigger. That isn't clickbait. And it gave me answers. I don't know how well you can see this. Let's take a look here. I make it bigger here in a second. This whole video was written by AI so far. It suggested my topics. It suggested all of it. And I did make this longer version here so you could see. I just started copying and pasting. I went as far as to, yeah, recognize this? That's the script that we just went through. It read naturally, didn't it? That was a first draft. How do I tell the viewer that this is actually a video about AI? Yeah, so it's tricky. I'm a trickster. It sounded good. It sounded natural. So I took it all the way. I even said, hey, could you do me a solid, bro, and tell me what is the best text prompt to generate an AI thumbnail for a video about Tesla AI and renewable energy? Best text prompt. Here you go. I just pasted it in, and this is what it got. This is where it took me. So the title, the thumbnail, of course it's generated by AI, but even the prompts to generate it. We got some good stuff, I think. Little goofy on the car. That's a huge dude. Crossroads. Nice. All of this looks pretty good. Is this sustainable? Well, ChatGPT, this has nothing to do with Tesla or Elon. No, this is through OpenAI. Who founded OpenAI? Does anybody know that? The writing didn't feel like a Brian video. Charlie, it didn't. I actually, in rehearsal, read it to my kids, and one of them actually figured out that it was GPT before I got to it, because there was no Brian in it. There was no soul. But other channels, ones that already don't have much soul, could absolutely get away with that. And I could always Brian it up a little. Dang, ChatGPT, wow. Yeah, in a few months it will be viable. Yeah. AI GPT-3 is a cool toy. Yeah. It works, man. It's crazy. Let's see if I've got anything over here. Brian's scripts are noticeably better. I didn't want to say anything. Okay, well, soulless. Let's take that sentiment, David, and you know what? I'd like to respond to it. It can be difficult to give feedback to a colleague, especially if you feel like their work is significantly better than yours. However, it's important to remember that everyone has different strengths and weaknesses. It's fun. Yeah, of course. This is coming. This level of chat was unimaginable 5 years ago. Just like self-driving is unimaginable today. The difference is nobody really fought back against this, against chat, against image generation that looks like this. Nobody fought back against that. Maybe they should have. But now we've got all these people. We were talking in the pre-show chat about the FUD, the fear, the uncertainty, the doubt, and how it's all getting a bit out of hand. It's frustrating. There are so many people who... I'm just going to let this run for a minute. There are so many people who eagerly spread misinformation because they don't like Elon. Now, they don't understand that they're part of a machine that is stupid and evil, malicious to its core. All the people who stand to benefit from the downfall of one, if not all, of Elon's companies. Yeah, that's not as interesting as I'd hoped. I'll go back here. They have a vested interest in the failure of Tesla. Cruise and Waymo have a vested interest in the failure of Tesla's full self-driving, even its autopilot. All the other companies with just adaptive lane control stand to lose from Tesla's innovations. We know that. All this is not a surprise. All the energy companies, they stand to lose. So they go out and they say demonstrably false, incredibly stupid things, and it goes unchallenged. There was a video of a car in China where the driver clearly applied the wrong pedal. This was last month, November 13th, I think. Driver goes to pull over. He's clearly in one pedal driving. He lets off the gas. His foot is hovering over the gas. He slows down. And when he wants to stop, he stomps on it. But it's not the brake, it's the gas. And you can tell because that car takes off, as a Tesla do. He starts screaming through town, pedal to the metal, balls, if you will, to the wall. Well, no, this is autopilot. This is an autopilot malfunction. No, it isn't. Autopilot doesn't floor it. Ever. Ever. Well, right, but I just said it's a malfunction. Okay. But the brakes would have to malfunction too. If you touch the wheel, if you hit the gas or the brake, it disengages. Well, right, but it's a malfunction. Right, but the brakes are a different system. The brakes, you hit the brakes are hydraulic, the car will stop, even if autopilot didn't want you to. You'd have to fail on both of those at the same time in extremely specific ways. Well, but he was on the brake. You can see the taillight. No, you can't. The taillight wasn't on. The daytime running lights were on, but without that center bar light, there's no brakes. Well, that malfunctioned too. So now we've got a mechanical, a hydraulic, and an electronic failure at the same time in extremely specific ways, leading up to this perfect storm of impossible odds. Or, hear me out, guy stomped on the wrong pedal. Pedal misapplication is something that happens 16,000 times a year, according to NHTSA, and that's in the US alone. You're telling me that this is what happened, but not pedal misapplication? The FUD is real. The FUD is real. Steven says Tesla does not need a PR department. Yes, it does. It absolutely does. The original justification was that Elon is the PR department. Elon's busy. Elon's not even the CEO right now. The company's kind of running itself, which is great because the executives know what they're doing, but there's no PR department. They still have one in China, which is active. They have one in Germany, which is active. They need one. It is time. I don't get it. What were you doing before? Yeah. So it's, Rob says, I'm hiring ChatGPT as my attorney. I've met some attorneys that you could probably replace with something a lot dumber than ChatGPT. There are great attorneys out there, and some that are less great. So that's fun. So let's get into the Q&A. Let's queue up for the A's, shall we? But let's also mention that the patrons are the ones who keep the channel going. Since we're in overtime, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the heat, because it is about 47 degrees in here. And as brisk and refreshing as that is, I'd rather keep my fingertips nice and toasty. If we stand strong together, we have a chance to retirement being Teslaneer. Yes, we do, Daniel. I was asked today, are you going to sell? No, because I will not be selling. If I had dry powder, I'd be buying. I'm not exactly happy. I'm not thrilled with the Twitter nonsense. It's very silly. It's quite a distraction. 47 Celsius would be hot, Jeff. But no, it's actually 47 Kelvin. My atoms are barely moving. The Twitter distraction is massive. The Twitter overhang, I loved it. There was a channel I watch and enjoy that said, oh, now that the Twitter purchase is closed, it's complete, the Twitter overhang has ended. And I thought, oh, my sweet summer child, I would not trust you with my money. Because if you thought the Twitter overhang was done just because the transaction closed, well, look around. If I had dry powder, I'd be deploying it. Would I be buying now or would I be selling? Do I think the price is going up or down? The fundamentals really haven't changed in the last month. If you look at the highs, at the recent highs, it was because of quarterly deliveries and earnings. Those are about to come out again, and they're going to be good. And I know there's big channels prognosticating massive slowdowns, but I've been watching, and they haven't materialized. We're still staying the course. We're still holding steady and strong. And, the year-to-date sales figures for Europe show all the other car makers struggling. Some of them are up 1, 2, 5, maybe 7%, maybe 10% up. A lot of them are down 2, 4, 8% down. Yeah, that's normal. That's a normal market. Tesla's up 50% year over year. How can that be? I was assured there was no demand. If there was demand, why are they giving these big discounts? Because they got the margin to play with, and they just are. The 10,000 mile credit, I mentioned this on Herbert's show today. It sounds like a big bonus. It's only a couple $100, and that's if you use it. Most most drivers think they're going to use it more than they actually use it. I did see a question here asking about doing a year in review, and will you be doing a year-end review, maybe with Tesla Herbert? So 2 answers to that. I plan to do one, yes, but Tesla Herbert's planning to do a big one. I don't want to step on his announcement, but he's got a big one, and I will be participating in that. And by the way, Herbert is one of my favorites because he's factual, he's honest, he's nice. He's, I don't know, one of my favorites. One of my favorites. Let's see. If demand in China is really waning, wouldn't Tesla just put 3s and Ys on a boat and ship them abroad rather than cutting production? Yes, yes, yes. And that appears to be what they've done. The only trick to that is you do have to order the boats well in advance, and it can be that there are not enough at the time you need them, but they'll still be available soon. So you might have some production at the end of Q4 that doesn't show up until the beginning of Q1, but that's fine. That's part of unwinding the delivery wave. So it's all fine. And that's what we're seeing is more ships in transit. Not right now, but earlier in the quarter. At one point, Lars from Best in Tesla, I think, tracked 9 different ships in transit. Yeah. You mean New Quarters Day. Happy New Quarters Day, January 1st. Record revenues and profits this quarter, piles of cash. I think so. There's definitely going to be record revenue because there'll be record production. Well, I saw someone on Twitter with a straight face. I assume I couldn't see their face. By the way, it was one of those accounts that only has like 63 followers. And it's existed for like 5 months. Not suspicious at all. They said, well, now that Tesla's 50% year over year is dead. It's dead. And I said, what do you mean it's dead? Well, they're not going to hit it this quarter, so it's dead. Right. It's not a concrete rule. It's a guideline. And Elon has been very clear. Some years it'll be over 50%, which we have seen more than once recently, and some years it'll be under 50%. So we might miss 50% for 22, but we're already at a 50% run rate growth for next year. Rob wants to know my thoughts on the Mexico rumors. I think they're just that. They're rumors. I don't see a benefit to putting a Mexico factory so close to the Texas factory, especially when the Texas factory is still expanding. I think everything we're seeing there is parts supply, not Mexico gigante, as JJ cleverly points out. And I don't know why. I think it's clickbait speculation is what it is. Any idea what's being built on the south side of Giga Texas? By the south side, do you mean where the delivery yard was? If so, that's just an expansion of the building. If you mean on the other side of the highway, I think that could be production. I think they could be building a factory over there. Not for the bot, it's too soon, but maybe for another model. A compact, a van. I think compact. I think Jeff is right. Mexico could be for parts. I believe so. They've got that special lane in Nuevo Laredo. Nuevo Leon, I think. not Laredo. That's there's a lot of political uncertainty in Mexico, which is a very diplomatic way of saying gang violence. And I don't think they want to be beholden to that kind of uncertainty. Okay, MD Hofsey says, if I'm not mistaken, the construction across the highway was classified as a storage yard. But they're clearing the entire area. They're clearing and grading all the way over to the other road. It's fun. The fact that the Texas land was so huge, they could never possibly develop all of it. And here we are. It's getting there. How will Cybertruck margins compare to the other models? Early ones, great, because they'll be selling the most expensive. Batteries are going to be expensive. Battery costs will come down as the 4680 ramp continues. And as it does, the delivery costs, the retail costs on the Cybertruck will come down. The margin's going to be comparable, if not even better. Any method to track megacharger installs? Would be cool to see routes being set up. There isn't. You have to just watch the news and watch for announcements. The benefit there is, unlike with Powerwalls, where people just buy them and they just go out into the market, megapacks are almost always announced because they're a big deal and utilities like to show what they're working on. So the megapacks, yeah. And I was having a fun chat earlier today with best-selling author Randy Kirk. And Randy was asking for feedback on the megapacks. And I explained that the Lathrop factory is not yet operational. And but there's this article that said it went from groundbreaking to operational in under a year. And well, that's the headline. If you read the article, it doesn't actually say anything about them being operational. We haven't seen any megapacks rolling out, and we know they're still coming out of Nevada. Because periodically, in drone footage out of Nevada, you'll see them outside in the lot piling up, awaiting delivery. So they're still going there. Not many megachargers besides endpoints yet. Oh, we were talking about megachargers or megapacks? Oh, megacharger. I apologize, Charlie. Any method to track megacharger installs? No. I think the early ones are all going to be destination ones for different, at different locations, at different hubs, where they wouldn't even be open to the public. Boy, as that starts to happen, we should start tracking that. Thoughts on any potential Twitter demand destruction? Castrated with Jan 23 IRA demand spike. Yes. So that's two questions, Stephen. And yes. So the first is, if I'm reading correctly, is Elon's shenanigans on Twitter likely to impact Tesla sales? And the answer is yes. Absolutely yes. 100% yes. The whole company was built on an appeal to social justice. And what he's doing on Twitter is the opposite of that. Some people appreciate it. Some people think it's fun. Some people enjoy the trolling, enjoy the saving of humanity, and that's fine. But it will absolutely have a lasting impact. Years ago, I was involved in a very the city of SeaTac proposed a $15 minimum wage, And I signed the petition, and not the petition, I put my signature on the ballot to get it on the ballot, and my signature was one of the ones thrown out illegally. So I became a plaintiff in a lawsuit against the people, against SeaTac, who was trying to get this thrown off the ballot. Let people vote, man. So I became pretty active in that because $15 minimum wage, important. Alaska Airlines fought bitterly against $15 an hour. This changes the cost of an airline ticket not at all. Pennies, if at all, and they were still fighting it. That was 10 years ago, 10 years ago. I have not flown Alaska since, and I will continue to not fly Alaska because because it's burned into my brain that they will impoverish their workers over pennies. It's burned into my brain. Now, I don't hold animosity against Elon for what he's doing on Twitter, but some people do and some people will. So the question is, how big of a long-term impact will there be? The answer is probably not that much. It's probably, certainly for now, the demand backlog is sufficient that any negative sentiment could easily be absorbed and disappear into the noise. What about demand in terms of the upcoming EV tax credit? That's a bigger issue, but it's going to resolve itself in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, it won't matter. So anything they can produce now is just a backlog. So they may have more inventory on hand at the end of this month. Doesn't matter. They'll blast through it next month. Of all the companies that stand to benefit from the massive upcoming EV tax credits, nobody is going to capitalize like Tesla. We are running down to the wire. If there's anything else, get it in. We have fun here. I hope we have fun. Oh, not only do my patrons sustain me, you guys sustain me. I love it. And I have fun. I have fun sometimes more than others. What about the Q3 production numbers? I assume John means the Q4 production numbers. Q4 production numbers will come out typically on the 1st or 2nd of next month. They come out very quickly. Oh, Jim, thank you so much. Also, did want to say thank you to Stephen for the super chat. Let's see. If it makes sense, GPT-3, I may have written it. I want facts. The Iceland girls flying Reykjavik are not bad looking. Oh. The news cycle will soon get tired of Elon when the Kardashians get their next facelifts. I don't think so, because the Fudsters have a financial interest in keeping bad news about Elon in the news cycle. And they will not let up because it's very, very easy to attack him. And I've seen people say, well, this is just FUD. This is a coordinated attack. Is it? Because it sounds like he's the one coordinating it. All he has to do to get rid of 90% of the complaints is zip it. And he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. That's not... I don't have the right to ask him to, but he can... I would appreciate if he would let the politics go. I go out of my way to not talk about politics. But then again, I'd also... There's a lot of things I would like. I'd like to be able to go to some of these events that Tesla holds. But, hey, man. William says no company is in a better position to capitalize on this EV credit than Tesla. Yeah. Jeff says CNBC is having a Tesla bash fest. Jeff, that's the regularly scheduled programming. I don't know what you're talking about. I've concluded the FUD will never go away. Yeah, politics tends to be divisive. It does. It's kind of designed that way, unfortunately. He knows how to push the buttons of the far, left, and right. Yes, but that's not a... I mean... Diplomacy is work. Rising above it is work, but it's worth it. For me, the first crack of disappointment was when he was in Berlin at the big event and all the media was there, and someone said, hey, aren't you worried about the concerns about water? There's not enough water. Now, the diplomatic and correct answer should have been, we understand that there's concerns about water. We've refined our processes so that an entire car uses less water than a pair of blue jeans. And if there really is a water concern, there's a giant coal plant nearby that uses 1,000 times as much water as we do. Maybe we could give them advice to help them scale back. But instead, he put on this fake laugh and was patronizing to these people and condescending and asked, who are you people even? Well, they're local beat reporters. They weren't being malicious. They didn't know the answer because they're local beat reporters and they're overworked. So that was an opportunity to rise above it. And I was very disappointed. And I saw a lot of people defending it, saying, no, he was right to do that. It was a stupid question. Yeah, but people ask stupid questions. You can't treat everyone like that, but you can. I just don't recommend it. I just don't think it's the best way to go about it. So hopefully he will. Hopefully things will improve. Hopefully he will get to, a better place where he can not feel like he's under constant attack. He will always be under constant attack. It's a matter of perception. Yeah. Gary Black's interview was worthy of consideration. I'll check that out, Jeff. And Jeff, I will talk to you probably later today. So, guys, it's been that long. It's been that much time. What did I miss? What did I misunderstand? Leave it all in the comments below if you got here at a different time. Stay tuned, stay juicy, all that good stuff. Thank you for the super chats. It's been a while, and I appreciate it. It helps out quite a ton. And yeah, and David says sometimes stupid questions are asked for the benefit of uninformed listeners. Sometimes when I do interviews, I ask questions that on the surface seem very simple and very dumb. Sometimes it's an opportunity for the speaker to get out ahead of a question, and other times it's a setup for a follow-up question that's more insightful. If I'd asked a question, I cannot imagine what would happen if I had a CEO and I threw him a softball, and instead of responding, knocking it out of the park and giving me an opportunity to ask a more serious question, I got laughed at. I'd feel disappointed. All right. Thank you, guys. Stay tuned. Stay juicy. Cannot wait to hear from you clever robots on the flippity flop.